Okay, welcome back to the second video. In this video, we're going to cut out the two main pieces. We have the color wheel. We're going to cut out a big circle for that. And we have a big rectangular shape that we're going to do for the actual picture part. Let's start with the color wheel. First, you want to get your plate that you're going to use as your measuring pattern, and you want your poster board. With this part of the project, you don't need to pick which side of the poster board because we're not painting yet. So it really doesn't matter which side of the poster board that you draw on for this, but you do want to be sure that you get your plate as close to each edge as possible. Just like this. See how it's close to the edge there, close to the edge here. The reason why is then you have all this extra space that you can use in case maybe you messed up and you want to try again. You have plenty of extra poster board. But hopefully the first time will work out. Alright, so let's lay this flat and just get your pencil and go right around the plate. And now you know where to cut it out. Then, let's get, for the rectangular part, let's get your ruler. Use your ruler and a pencil for starters. Since I did the color wheel down here, I'm going to come all the way over to this other side to do the rectangular part. We want to do about 10.5 inches wide and 13. 10.5, 13 is going to be the long part. 10.5 inches will be the shorter part. So let me show you. This will be 10.5 inches and this part will be 13 inches. So let's go ahead and measure that here. So what I want to do is put my ruler down, and I'm thinking I'm going to have the longer part here and this will be the shorter part. So since this is going to be the longer part, I want this to be 13 inches long. And you may or may not need your parents' help with this. But let's go ahead and let's get started and see how far we can go. If you need your mom or dad's help with it, just pause the video, go ask them for help, and then come back and turn it back on or rewatch the whole thing, whichever. So I'm going to get the bottom of my ruler to match up to the bottom of the poster board. And then I'm going to mark where 12 inches is. Just a little dash. Nothing big, because it's not going to be the final mark. Because remember how long it's supposed to be? It's 13 inches, not 12. But my ruler only has 12 inches, right? So I put a mark where 12 is, and 12 plus what makes 13? 1, right? So at that mark, I'm going to put my ruler now, again, the 0, I'm going to match it up to the line, the little dash I made, and I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to go to 1 inch and make a little longer dash. That's how long I want this rectangle to be. Now, let's get the other side, the shorter side. That one's going to be 10.5 inches, so let's start with 0 right here. And since 10.5 is on my ruler, I can just mark it right here and be set. 10.5 inches, I put a long mark. Okay, so I don't know if you'll be able to see this from there, but I have a mark here. And I have my top mark of 13 inches right up here. This one of 12 inches I don't need, so I'm going to erase that real quick. Got my eraser, Got rid of that so I don't get confused. Now I have this mark and this mark only. But how do we get this mark out here? Because I could accidentally make my line go too far down or too far up. So what I need to do is first, see how this is flat? What I usually do is I try to make it flat to the edge of the poster board. Okay, whoops. I'm going to turn it around here so it starts at 0. And I put it at the mark that I had for 13 inches. Okay, so I have it at 13 inches, and I also tried to make it as flat as possible to the edge of the poster board. And now this length is 10.5 inches, right? So let's go ahead, and I'm lightly marking it at 10.5. And I made a line about this long because somewhere along that line, this other line is going to meet it. And I'll know how far to go. You'll know what I mean when you get there. Now we're coming to this 10.5 mark over here, and we're going to do the same thing. Get your ruler where it's at 0, match it up to that dash, okay? And also make sure it's flat with the edge of the poster board. Now, this is supposed to be 13 inches. I'm going to make a mark at 12 again. And then I'm going to come up, match the 0 to my mark, and do a long line, about this long, no particular exact amount. Now, what I want you to see is, I hope you can see, I have a line here where I measured from here, and when I measured from here, I have this line. All I have to do is make them meet, and that's the point. Wherever these two lines meet, where they come together, that's my corner for this, okay? So I'm going to make them meet. I'm going to make them cross each other. See how I made them cross each other? I made like a little cross. Well, that point right in the middle, I want to put one side of the ruler to that point and match it up with the line on the other side. Okay? And then I'm going to do the same down here. I'm going to take that middle point with the line that I have at the bottom, and I'm going to connect the dots is what I'm going to do. So this is the part that if you need help with your parent, your parents' help, be sure to ask them that you're going to where those two lines cross. That's your point, and you're going to draw a line to the dash. And then you go back to where the two lines cross. And that point is where you make your other line. And that's how you find that other corner there. Alright, now we've got a rectangular shape and we have a circle. Your last step for this is just cut the two pieces out. And once you get them cut out, then come back to the third video and we'll do another part of getting it prepared for painting, and that's when we'll use our safety pin. So go ahead and get those two cut out, and once you're done, turn on the third video and we'll go on with the rest of our preparation. We'll see you there.